I want to bring in the one candidate running for president who worked at Microsoft, the first company to make that multi-billion-dollar investment in AI platform ChatGPT. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum joined Microsoft in 2001, didn't you, right? Your tech company, your software startup was acquired for more than $1 billion?
Yes, that's right, Liz. And I stayed there for 7 years helping to lead Microsoft's global business solutions, had people working for me all over the world. And it was a fantastic and exciting time between 2000 and 2007.
Well, we like that you have experience to talk about this. I mean, I've got Biden's executive order in my hands. It's more than 7 pages. It's pretty wide-ranging, everything from new orders to develop standards to mitigate AI's usage to create, I mean, it's pretty scary, chemical weapons to protecting Americans from AI-enabled fraud via watermarking and content authentication. Do you think it strikes the right tone, the right mark? And, why wait around for these big companies? They pay lip service. They don't want to be regulated.
Well, I think in some cases they actually do, Liz, because the big companies are the ones that's leading. And if they can help shape the rules, that can help restrict competition. So, of course, there's always been a close association between some of these large tech companies and the government, and that influences the regulations. I think the key here is that in the process, as we often do in government, certainly the Biden administration has done this multiple times. They start regulating something, whether it's healthcare, U.S. oil and gas, whatever, they regulate it and they actually choke off the innovation. And right now, the way we're in a Cold War with China, we're in a proxy war with Russia and Iran, 2 countries. One of the ways that we're going to win as a country is that our economy is going to take off, and that's going to happen through innovation, not through regulation. And with Moore's law driving the speed of a chip, doubling in power every 18 months at half the price, the AI that you see today is going to be dramatically different even 18 months from now in terms of its power and capability. And so I don't have any belief that the government can issue an 8-page document to keep up with the pace of what the technology is. I think it's important to have guidelines and safeguards, but people that want to stop the advancement of AI, that's probably a Russian bot or a Chinese bot.
Let me just jump in here. There is an entire page on promoting innovation and competition and catalyzing AI research here in the United States. So, just to be fair here, they do have that in there. But let's talk about regulation in real time. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Alphabet Google, testifying today in that U.S. antitrust trial. Basically, it's a trial that will determine whether Google used anti-competitive practices to gain dominance in the search market, specifically by paying billions of dollars to the handset makers, whether it be Apple or Samsung or the Android phones. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I think it's great that the federal government's taking a look at this, and whether it's Amazon tilting their platform towards their own products versus those small that might be listed there, or whether it's Google trying to influence their powerful platform position with the device manufacturers. Those things are things that need to be looked at.
Over the weekend, Governor, the big news was that Vice President Mike Pence dropped out of the presidential race. He was plumbing the depths there. You're not far from the bottom. Is your name going to be the next headline where you exit the race? Or how long are you in it?
We're in it through Iowa and New Hampshire, Liz. It's the voters in the early primary states that get to decide who is on the ballot and who moves forward. It's not pundits, it's not pollsters, and it's not insiders that are driving the debate criteria. It's the actual voters, and we're getting such a strong positive reception. People on the ground are literally saying, don't quit, stay in there. We need to have a business leader. We need to have someone who understands technology. We need to have someone who's proven that they can make that work in government to help get us out of the Biden mess that we're in, because we're going in the wrong direction on economy, energy, national security. You're one of those people that can help lead us out of this.
According to the latest Iowa Des Moines Register poll that they did with NBC and Mediacom, you're sitting at 3%, while former President Donald Trump still holds the lead with 43%. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley's right in second place, tied with DeSantis. But I was reading an interesting article where people were on the ground talking with Iowa voters, and there was something that resonated about you with them. They felt that you were less interested in the culture war stuff, and you were more interested in running the country as a business and getting it back on its feet. But how do you make the argument that a GDP at 4.9% means it's somehow stumbling?
Well, there's so many things that are wrong with the way the Biden administration is running this economy right now, whether it's the out-of-control federal spending, the out-of-control federal debt, the inability to actually demonstrate that we can improve government services and deliver them at a lower cost. And then, of course, with the appeasement and weakness abroad, is threatening both our prosperity and our national security. And the open border is also affecting our economy. So 100 ways to improve this, and we've got the solutions. We're making it happen here in North Dakota. We have the highest GDP of any Republican-led state in the nation. We've got the highest workforce participation. We've got among the lowest unemployment in the state. We know how to get the economy working, and because we understand how economy, energy, technology all interplay into improving our prosperity and our national security.
Well, speaking of national security and international security, right now we can look live at any camera from Gaza that we have set up, and there are alarming pictures overall. We know that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, and by the way, this is a live picture of a fire happening right now in Gaza. But we know that the IDF is doing exactly what it said it would do, and that is wipe out Hamas after it invaded Israel and murdered 1,300 Israeli and foreign civilians. Today, Kamala Harris, the vice president, said, no way, there will be no U.S. boots on the ground in Israel. You, however, have said that sending troops to Israel is on the table. Make your case.
Well, it needs to be. Americans died in the October 7th attack. Americans have been taken hostage in the October 7th attack. And our use of special forces to rescue hostages is certainly something we've done in the past and should be on the table. Just was it this weekend, spent the weekend at the Republican Jewish Coalition, hearing firsthand live reports of people in the horrific attacks of October 7th. And, you know, the blood here is on Hamas's hands. I mean, they're using human shields. Israel has the right to defend itself. There's nothing in international law that says you can use civilians to protect or try to insulate your positions where you're shooting rockets from, which is what Hamas does all the time. If they're concerned about the humanitarian crisis, they'd have been putting money into supporting their people, not building tunnels and building fortifications to attack Israel.
I could not agree with you more. And all that money that governments, including ours, have sent to the territories to help them do that, it's gone right to terrorism because Hamas is the government in that area. Doug Burgum, thank you very much. We hope to speak with you soon.
Yes, and Liz, agree. And then lifting the sanctions on Iran, tens of billions of dollars going to the country that's the world's largest sponsor of terrorism is atrocious. And then that oil is all flowing to China. I mean, again, you can't separate economy, energy, national security, and Biden's got it all wrong. He's literally empowering our enemies at this point in time.
Governor, so much to discuss, and we'll have you back. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.